Most people don't wake up one day and realize they're unhappy. They don't suddenly say, "I'm miserable. My life is nothing like I wanted it to be." No, it happens so gradually, so subtly, that they never even notice it creeping in. It starts with small compromises. You take the job you don't love because it's practical. You stay in a relationship that no longer brings you joy because it's comfortable. You silence your dreams because they seem unrealistic. At first, it doesn't feel like a big deal. You tell yourself, this is just how life works. But over time, you start feeling disconnected, a little empty, a little restless. But instead of confronting that feeling, you do what everyone else does. You distract yourself. You scroll through your phone. You binge-watch TV. You keep yourself busy with work, errands, obligations, anything to avoid being alone with your thoughts. Because deep down, a terrifying question lingers in your mind. Is this really all there is? And the moment you ask that question, you're forced to confront something uncomfortable. You're not actually living, you're just existing. But most people don't face it. They tell themselves, maybe next year I'll be happier, maybe when I make more money, maybe when I finally find the right person. And that's the trap. Waiting, hoping, delaying happiness. Thinking that one day everything will magically fall into place, and suddenly life will feel meaningful. But that day never comes. Instead, the years pass. Life becomes predictable, routine. You wake up, go to work, come home, distract yourself, go to sleep, and repeat. Until one day, you look back and realize that you spent your whole life waiting to be happy, and now it's too late. You see, most people don't realize they're unhappy because they've numbed themselves just enough to keep going. They don't hit rock bottom, so they assume everything is fine. But fine isn't the same as alive. Fine isn't the same as fulfilled. Fine isn't the same as living without regret. And the worst part? Most people never figure this out until it's far too late. They reach the end of their lives and finally see the truth. The job never really mattered. The endless hours they spent trying to prove themselves, meaningless. The opinions of others never mattered. All the energy they wasted worrying about what people thought of them, a waste. The money never filled the emptiness, the status, the possessions, the material success. It never brought true peace. What mattered were the moments they ignored, the dreams they abandoned, the love they never fully gave. And now, with nothing left but time running out, they finally understand. They were never actually living, but you still have a chance. You still have time to break free from the trap. The question is, will you wake up before it's too late? If you ask most people why they're unhappy, they'll give you surface-level answers. I hate my job. I don't have enough money. I'm lonely. But the truth is, those things aren't the real cause of unhappiness. They're just symptoms. The real cause? The mindset and habits that quietly destroy your joy, piece by piece, without you even realizing it. One of the biggest killers of happiness is attachment to the wrong things. Most people spend their whole lives chasing things they think will make them happy. Money, status, relationships, approval. They believe that once they have those things, they'll finally feel complete. But what happens when they get them? At first, there's excitement. A new job, a new car, a new relationship. It feels amazing for a while. But then, the feeling fades. The happiness doesn't last. And instead of questioning why, they assume the answer is more. More success, more money, more attention, more distractions. It becomes a never-ending cycle, chasing, achieving, feeling empty, and then chasing again. The second silent killer of happiness is comparison. People don't just want to be happy. They want to be happier than others. They don't just want success. They want more success than their peers. And with social media constantly showing them other people's perfect lives, they're left feeling like they're always falling behind. What they don't realize is that most of what they see isn't even real. People don't post their failures. They don't post their loneliness. They don't post their doubts and insecurities. But still, people compare. They measure their self-worth based on someone else's highlight reel. And in doing so, they rob themselves of happiness over and over again. Then there's the third and most dangerous cause of unhappiness: living without purpose. A lot of people wake up, go to work, come home, and repeat the cycle, not because they love what they do, but because it's all they know. They don't feel truly fulfilled, but they don't question it either. They just keep going, assuming that's what life is supposed to be. But deep inside, there's a part of them that feels lost, disconnected, as if something is missing, and that feeling never goes away. The truth is, no amount of money or success will ever replace the feeling of knowing why you wake up in the morning. No material possession will ever bring the joy that comes from living a life that means something. But most people don't realize this. Instead, they stay trapped, chasing the wrong things, comparing themselves to others, and ignoring their deeper purpose. And that's exactly how 90% of people end up living unfulfilled, unhappy lives. But what if you could break free? What if you could escape the cycle? The good news is, you can. But only if you're willing to do something most people never do: change. If you want to live a life of real happiness, the kind that doesn't fade, the kind that doesn't depend on money, status, or other people's approval, you have to unlearn everything society has taught you about success and fulfillment. You have to stop chasing things that were never meant to bring you happiness in the first place. So, how do you do that? The first step is detaching from external validation. Most people live their entire lives worrying about what others think. They shape their choices around how they'll be perceived. Afraid of judgment, afraid of failure, afraid of not being good enough. But the truth is, no amount of external approval will ever give you true inner peace. You have to stop living for others and start living for yourself. That means making choices based on what fulfills you, not what impresses others. It means being okay with disappointing some people if it means staying true to yourself. And most importantly, it means understanding that you don't need permission to be happy. The second step is letting go of the endless pursuit of more. If you're always thinking, "I'll be happy when I have more money, more success, more recognition," you'll never actually be happy. Because more is an illusion. There will always be another level, another goal, another person who seems to have more than you. Instead of chasing more, focus on appreciating what you already have. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to shift your mindset. It forces you to stop looking at what's missing and start seeing what's already there. And when you do that, you'll realize that happiness isn't something you achieve, it's something you choose. The third and most powerful step is finding your purpose. You cannot live a happy life without meaning. And meaning doesn't come from money, attention, or social status. It comes from doing things that matter to you, things that make you feel alive, things that impact others in a positive way. Maybe it's building something, maybe it's teaching, creating, helping, inspiring. Whatever it is, your purpose is the thing that makes you excited to wake up in the morning, the thing that gives your life depth instead of just routine. Most people never take the time to figure out what truly fulfills them. They spend their whole lives working for a paycheck, scrolling mindlessly through distractions, avoiding the deeper questions. And that's exactly why they stay unhappy. But you don't have to. You don't have to spend your life chasing things that don't matter. You don't have to live for other people's approval. You don't have to stay stuck in a cycle of comparison, dissatisfaction, and regret. You have a choice. You can let go of the things that are holding you back. You can stop looking for happiness in all the wrong places. You can create a life that feels fulfilling on your terms. The question is, will you? Or will you be like the 90% who only realize the truth when it's too late? The choice is yours.